Hello everyone, a very good evening to all of you and welcome to the channel. So this video is going to be very important because as you all are aware that upper PCS mains examination is from 20th August and lower PCS mains examination is from 28th August. So 20 days are left for the upper PCS and 27 days are left for the lower PCS mains. Okay. So today we'll be discussing about what should be the strategy for the next 20 or 27 days depending on whatever exam you are appearing for. So first of all, let's talk about the lower PCS. Okay, so there are going to be two papers. One is paper number one, which is from general studies, and paper number two is Hindi writing. Okay, now for general studies, if you have actually gone through the syllabus, then first of all, the broad topic is current affairs. Okay, second broad topic is history, third broad topic being polity, then fourth topic is geography plus economics. I'll club it together. Next is science and tech. Next is, okay, and I'll also group agriculture along with this, okay. And the next is related to Uttarakhand, okay, Uttarakhand specific portions. Finally, we have the topic of mathematics, okay. Now, I'm sure you would have covered a lot till now, and in case your notes are ready, then your first priority should be focusing on the notes and their revision. Okay, and in case certain portions of the syllabus are left, then what can you do exactly in the remaining 20 days? Okay, so first of all, for current affairs. Okay. If you have made notes from the previous 1 year, they can be from any source, any good institute, for example, Drishti IAS, or if you've been reading the newspaper every day, or if you are following Vision IAS booklet series, or other YouTube channels wherein they provide the current affairs, then you just need to revise that. Okay. And from current affairs, what portions become important? See, in the past also, they have asked questions related to the personalities that have been in news. Now, there have been so many games recently and there have been very many participants from Uttarakhand. For example, Vandana Kataria, okay, and so many cricketers also they hail from Uttarakhand. So these people they become extremely important. Apart from that, the people those who have got some prize or they have been awarded Padma Bhushan, Padma Shri, okay, and in case there have been certain personalities, especially from the army background, if they've been in news, then that becomes extremely crucial for us. Apart from this, games and sports should also be given equal importance. Okay, the recently conducted Olympics and the medalists from there, even Paralympics, that becomes important. Okay, not only those hailing from Uttarakhand, but also at a national level. If there have been certain important personalities, you should be ready with at least a minimum 25 word note for these personalities. Okay, and apart from that, certain people belonging to the literature, for example, Sahitya Academy Awards, or from the journalism, okay, if there have been certain important personalities in these sectors also, that also needs to be read. Okay, so give importance to these things. Now, if we talk about the historical aspect, then there are three portions here: ancient, medieval, and modern. If you have left any portion from here, for example, most probably all of you would have done modern history from Spectrum. Okay, and if you have not followed Spectrum, then maybe some other source, maybe old NCRTs or the new NCRTs, but you would have covered it somehow. And you should keep this in mind that for Uttarakhand related exams, both ancient as well as medieval becomes important because they can ask questions from there itself. There also, okay. So in case you have not covered it till now, then the most effective way to cover it right now, within giving that the time period of only 20 days is left, so the most effective way will be to cover them with the help of Lucent. Okay, Lucent GK, everybody, most of you would be having that book, so it is best to do it from there. okay, and also to focus on the previous year questions, like what exactly have been asked, what exactly has been asked in the past. You can go through the question paper of 2016 and 2012, because after that no exam has been conducted. But the recent exams that have been conducted by UKPSC, that also becomes a very good information pool for all of you, giving us an idea that what examiners are basically asking in the recent examinations. That also gives you a glimpse of the current affairs and the content or the extent to which you should be covering them. Okay. Next is polity. In case you've done it from Lakshmikant, then you just need to revise the same. And if you haven't done it from Lakshmikant, then you can again, if somehow this portion is missing, then you can cover it from Lucent. Okay. Polity, in case of lower PCS, you can expect maximum they can ask you a question from for 100 marks. Okay. And given that recently the presidential elections have been in news, so that becomes a very important topic. Apart from that, the role of governor, right to information, right to education, and right to privacy. These are some other important aspects that you should cover. Okay. Now, if we talk about the geography and the ecology, the economy. Okay. So that is a very they can ask you a very broad type of question in this. Okay, regarding the demographic aspects, for example, related to the population and also related to the budget aspects. Okay, for example, in case something has been mentioned, and especially in economics, we should keep in mind about the different government schemes that have been in news over the past months. Okay, regarding the PM Kisan and also certain other schemes of the government, for example, especially for the MSME sector. Okay, because the government is giving extreme importance, or they are trying to focus on this. So Mudra scheme also becomes very important for us. They can ask a question based on Mudra scheme. Okay, and therefore for economics portion, I'd like to suggest all of you to go through the government schemes. I think, in my opinion, that will be more than sufficient, because in economics that is what they can focus on. And for geography also, they can ask very simple kind of questions, especially related to Uttarakhand. For example, the geography of Uttarakhand, for example, the Himalayas and their origin can be asked. They can ask you about the young fold mountains and old fold mountains, the difference between them. They can also ask you about the earthquakes and volcanoes. How do they actually originate? A very simple 25 marker question can also be asked: how to mitigate the disasters, or what happens, how to manage disasters management. And also a question can be asked about the rivers, the Himalayan rivers and the peninsular rivers, the difference between them can be asked. Okay, so this becomes important. Apart from that, if we talk about the science and tech and agricultural part, then there have been certain topics that have been mentioned. Okay, so in that you can expect a question from SEZ. Okay, and also the use of nano and biotechnologies, especially the use of biotechnology in the field of agriculture and the problem of Indian farmers. You can expect a question because of the different farm laws that were in news over the past few months. So this becomes a very important topic for us. Apart from that, if we focus on the general science and environment, so just observation based questions, I've already made a video regarding the same. You can go through that, in which I have mentioned 20 questions that can be asked. Okay, and you can go through it. Maybe some of the other question is repeated from there. Then, since corona has been in news, COVID has been in news, so you can expect questions like what is zoonosis. Okay, or another question could be what is the term vaccination and immunization, what is the difference between these terms, or what is the similarity between these terms. And apart from that, you can also expect a question from the various kinds of diseases of cattle. For example, what is canine distemper disease, that has been in news. And also monkeypox, although it has come to news recently, but monkeypox was there several years ago also, so you can also expect a question from there. Another question could be the difference between RNA and DNA, or what is the difference between RNA based vaccine and DNA based vaccine. Okay, You can also expect a question based on polio, because you never know, maybe the examiner is thinking about some viral disease. They can ask you about polio, they can also ask you about chickenpox or measles or smallpox. Okay, so this all also you should be aware of. Then what is the difference between hybrids and hybridization and genetic engineering? That is also a question you can expect. Next, if we talk about Uttarakhand specific portions, then definitely and especially in the lower PCS examination, questions from Uttarakhand are a must. They will be asking, because all the candidates, those who are here, those who have qualified for the prelims of this examination, you all have the domicile of Uttarakhand. Okay, so what becomes extremely important is the government schemes that are related to Uttarakhand. I've also made a video on this. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it, and that will be useful for all of you. Okay, and apart from this, history of Uttarakhand, for example, Tehri state, Gorkha invasion, these are certain important topics. They can also ask you about the Tilu Roteli. They can also ask you about Kalu Mehra, because recently there has been an increased awareness and importance that is being given to the historical or the freedom fighters. Okay, so that needs to be done well. And the fairs and festivals also are very important, and the various art and crafts of Uttarakhand, especially the ones that have been given the GI tag, okay, geographical indication tag. So those questions become extremely important because they are also connected with the current affairs. And if we talk about the geography of Uttarakhand, so what are the means of irrigation here, and what is the climate of Uttarakhand? A question can also be asked about the Panch Prayags, Panch Kedar. Okay, they can ask you about the various glaciers that are found here. They can also ask you about the problems of the remote areas. For example, so many people, they are migrating away from the villages, and there has been an increased rate of urbanization. So what could be the measures that can be taken by the government in order to prevent the migration? Okay, so you can also mention about several government schemes in this aspect. Apart from this, Panchayati Raj and community development is also a very important topic from Uttarakhand. Certain areas where you can focus are, first of all, Zamindari Abolishment Act, then land reforms, Thokdari, then Benap land. All this becomes very important. Okay, then also a difference between Bekar and Dadwar systems. So this is already mentioned in the syllabus, and I have a very strong feeling that this can be asked because it is specifically mentioned in the syllabus. And if you look up at the from the perspective of a person that will be asking in the examination, then I think that this time they are going to focus on the keywords from the syllabus itself. They'll be picking up topics from there, and that is why whatever is mentioned in the syllabus, you should be by heart. At least a 100 words question should be prepared for all these topics. Now finally, if we talk about another important aspect, it is the budget of Uttarakhand. The recent budget that has been presented by the government of Uttarakhand, that becomes extremely important. You can get facts and figures from there regarding the percentage of forests or whatever the government schemes that have been introduced, and what exactly is the budget, estimated budget, and where the government is spending most of the funds. Okay, so that becomes very important. And the final topic is regarding maths. So in lower PCS, you can expect questions only from the statistical part. Okay, they ask you questions related to the graphs and diagrams because that is the only portion mentioned in the syllabus. So preparing histograms, making bar diagrams, or making line diagrams, making a frequency table, making polygons. So you should have practiced questions from here, because at least one question is going to be asked from maths, and that is going to be a 20 marker question. Okay, so you can score full marks if you are, or if you have practiced many questions well in advance. Okay, so this was regarding paper number 1. Now if we talk about paper number 2, that is also specifically mentioned. Now, what can be done in the last 20 days? Okay, so what you can do is that, first of all, in case you've written certain essays, then well and good, just revise them. Try to revise the structure, what exactly is the structure that you have written, and in case you have made a note of all the important idioms or phrases that you can use as an introduction in your essay, then try to learn it, okay, so that you can reproduce it in the answer sheet. Apart from that, the second question is regarding द अपठित गद्यांश. ओके, तो अपठित गद्यांश वाला जो क्वेश्चन है उसमें आप किस तरीके से अपनी तैयारी कर सकते हैं. अभी भी जो आपके पास रिमेनिंग डेज बाकी जो बचे हुए दिन हैं उसमें आप जो उत्तराखंड बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस पूछे गए हैं, जैसे कि अभी जो भी एग्जाम्स रिसेंटली कंडक्ट हुए हैं, आप उस पर एक पैनी निगाह से उनके थ्रू आप यू कैन जस्ट गो थ्रू देम. ओके, एंड उससे क्या होगा कि आपको एक आइडिया लग जाएगा कि किस एक्सटेंट के क्वेश्चंस पूछे जा रहे हैं, या आप एक तरीके की प्रैक्टिस में रहेंगे. तो उससे क्या होगा कि आपको रीडिंग की हैबिट रहेगी, आप रीड करेंगे तो आप एक हैबिचुअल रहेंगे उस पोर्शन के लिए, एंड आप उसके शीर्षक में या उसके जो एक्सप्लेनेशंस पूछे जाते हैं वो आप आसानी से कर पाएंगे. ठीक है. एंड नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है हमारा रिगार्डिंग द हिंदी आलेखन. तो इसमें आपसे कुछ भी पूछ सकते हैं, वो अर्धशासकीय पत्र पूछ सकते हैं, शासकीय पत्र पूछ सकते हैं, कार्यालय निर्देश पूछ सकते हैं, विज्ञप्ति पूछ सकते हैं. तो आप इस चीज़ का ध्यान रखिए कि अभी आप जो ये 27 डेज रिमेनिंग है उसमें आप हर दिन न्यूज़पेपर तो पढ़ ही रहे होंगे ऑब्वियसली. तो न्यूज़पेपर में हर दिन एक पर्टिकुलर पेज होता है जिसमें विज्ञप्ति या इस तरीके के जो गवर्नमेंट ऑर्डर्स होते हैं उनका एक स्पेसिफिक एक पेज डेडिकेटेड होता है. तो कोशिश करिए कि आप हर एक पोर्शन का, फॉर एग्जांपल विज्ञप्ति हो गई या कार्यालय आदेश या जो भी उसमें मेंशन है, निविदा की सूचना आई है, तो उसको बस एक बार रीड करने की हैबिट में आ जाइए. उससे क्या होगा कि आपके दिमाग में एक चीज़ छप जाएगी कि अच्छा ठीक है, तो निविदा है तो इसका ये पैटर्न होता है, इस तरीके से इसको लिखा जाता है. या अगर सपोज आपसे आ गया कार्यालय आदेश पूछा जाए तो आपको पता है कि ठीक है, मुझे हेडिंग देनी है, मुझे कहाँ पर डेट लिखनी है, कहाँ पर मुझे क्या चीज़ मेंशन करनी है. तो उस तरीके का एक आइडिया आपको लगेगा. एंड इसको बार बार आप अगर रीड करते रहेंगे तो वो आपकी फोटोग्राफिक मेमोरी यानी आपके मेमोरी में छप जाएगा. तो आप वहाँ पर फाइनल एग्जाम में कोई भी मिस्टेक नहीं करेंगे. और एक भाषा शैली भी आप इसकी सीख पाएंगे कि किस तरीके से आपको वर्ड फ्रेमिंग करनी है या किस तरीके से आपको सेंटेंसेस इसमें यूज करने हैं, कहाँ पर आपको निर्देशित लिखना है, कहाँ पर आपको ये कहा गया है कि दंडात्मक कार्यवाही करी जाएगी, कार्यवाही के बारे में कहा गया है, या कुछ भी और अगर आपसे मेंशन्ड है तो आप उसको अपने अच्छी तरीके से फाइनली इवेंचुअली आंसर में लिख सकते हैं. ओके. एंड रिगार्डिंग द 2 ट्रांसलेशंस, तो इसके लिए भी एक ध्यान रखिए कि हर दिन एक ट्रांसलेशन तो करिए. तो इससे क्या होगा कि रिमेनिंग 27 डेज हैं आपके पास, तो उसमें ऐसा होगा एटलीस्ट 27 नहीं तो एटलीस्ट 25 आपके पास ट्रांसलेशंस होंगे. एंड इवेंचुअली एक हैबिट रहेगी कि आपको सोचना नहीं पड़ेगा एग्जामिनेशन हॉल में कि अच्छा ठीक है ये वर्ड मैंने कहीं पढ़ा था. ऐसा हो सकता है कि आप अभी न्यूज़पेपर से ही कोई आर्टिकल अगर देख रहे हैं उसको ट्रांसलेट करने की कोशिश करिए. कोई भी एक हिंदी का आर्टिकल ले लीजिए, उसको इंग्लिश में ट्रांसलेट करने की कोशिश करिए. एंड सिमिलरली कोई भी इंग्लिश का एक आर्टिकल ले लीजिए एंड उसको हिंदी में ट्रांसलेट करने का प्रयास करिए. उससे ऐसा होगा कि वर्ड जो है ना आपके, वो आपको वहाँ पर फाइनली एग्जाम में आपको ऐसे डाउट नहीं आएगा कि अच्छा इस वर्ड को क्या कहते हैं या इस वर्ड को क्या कहते हैं. तो आपके लिए वो बहुत एक आसानी हो जाएगी क्योंकि ऑलरेडी यू विल बी प्रैक्टिसिंग अबाउट 25 क्वेश्चंस एवरी डे. जो हिंदी से इंग्लिश में करेंगे, इंग्लिश से हिंदी में करेंगे, तो 50 क्वेश्चंस आपके पास एक अच्छा खासा प्रैक्टिस हो जाएगी. ओके. सो ऐसे में वही है कि आप जो इडियम्स एंड फ्रेजेस हैं उनको याद करिए. एंड इन केस यू ऑलरेडी प्रैक्टिस्ड सम एसेस देन जस्ट गो थ्रू देम. ओके. नेक्स्ट इज रिगार्डिंग द अपठित गद्यांश और अनसीन पैसेज. तो अनसीन पैसेज के लिए तो यही है कि जस्ट गो थ्रू द न्यूज़पेपर आर्टिकल्स. ओके. एंड ट्राई टू गिव देम सम हेडिंग्स. ओके. तो न्यूज़पेपर से इसमें आपको हेल्प मिल जाएगी. विद इन दीज 25 डेज आप इसको करिए. नेक्स्ट इज रिगार्डिंग द हिंदी आलेखन. ओके. तो हिंदी आलेखन का भी आपको न्यूज़पेपर से ही फॉलो करना है. आपको जस्ट ऑब्जर्व करना है कि किस तरीके से हर दिन विज्ञप्ति आ रही है, एडवर्टीजमेंट्स आ रहे हैं, या फिर किस तरीके से आपका जो है कार्यालय आदेश कुछ आया है, या फिर कोई निविदा की सूचना आई है. तो जस्ट गो थ्रू द न्यूज़पेपर एवरी डे. एक स्पेसिफिक पोर्शन होता है, एक स्पेसिफिक पेज होता है, उसके जस्ट गो थ्रू दैट एंड यू विल गेट इनटू द हैबिट. नेक्स्ट इज ट्रांसलेशन, हिंदी टू इंग्लिश, इंग्लिश टू हिंदी. उसके लिए भी आपको न्यूज़पेपर ही पढ़ना है. तो इस पोर्शन में तो देखिए जो सेकंड पेपर है, पेपर 2, उसमें तो आपको सिर्फ अभी पेपर यानी न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ना है एंड आपको सिर्फ प्रैक्टिस करनी है. और फ्रेजेस और इडियम्स जो आपने लिखे हैं उसका एक सेट पैटर्न आपने बनाया होगा, उनको जस्ट रिवाइज करिए एंड इडियम्स एंड फ्रेजेस को रिवीजन करते रहिए. सो दिस वाज ऑल अबाउट पेपर 1 एंड पेपर 2 ऑफ लोअर पीसीएस. ओके. तो आशा है ये वीडियो आपके लिए यूजफुल रही होगी. एंड इन केस देयर आर सर्टेन डाउट्स और इफ यू लाइक मी टू मेक अनदर वीडियो बेस्ड ऑन दिस टॉपिक देन डू पोस्ट it in the comment section. And in case you want a PDF of all the videos that I've already made regarding the government schemes or also regarding some aspects related to Uttarakhand, then you can join the Telegram channel. I've also provided a link in the description box. Just go there, join that link, and there is also a link of another group wherein you can post your answers and get them freely evaluated. Okay, so that is also very useful given that so many days are not okay. So such less days are left. Okay, so right now you just need to focus on practicing. So let's do it, guys. And always remember, whatever exam you're preparing for, you can do it. So that's it for today. I'll make another video regarding the upper PCS. In case you want that video, then post it in the comment section. Otherwise, just keep practicing and keep working hard. You'll get your dream job soon. With that positive note, let's end the video today. Till then, bye-bye and take care.